Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio here on the LNM Radio Network. I'm your host, Clarissa Vasquez. Riding shotgun, as always, is my partner in crime, Mr. Chris Carr.
Hey, hey, hey.
And I have a confession to make. I went to
Oh, do you
FedEx.
now?
I went to FedEx today to mail a couple packages to Massachusetts, but they closed 5 minutes before I got there, so I'm gonna have to mail them out tomorrow. Oh, I missed it by 5 stupid minutes.
Wow.
No.
Coal in my stocking now. Coal in yours. I'm missing
Hole
it.
in my stocking? Well, I'll mail them out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of shipping days till Christmas.
I think
I
so.
like to think. Yeah.
Well, and I went to FedEx because depending on the weight of the package, if it's over 5 pounds, it's cheaper to go through FedEx than it is through the regular mail. And I've got 2 packages to send out, and one is definitely over 5 pounds and the other one is not. So, and I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna send them both FedEx. But no, I missed it by 5 minutes. They closed 5 minutes before I got there. I was ready to, stick my face in the gate there at their little kiosk and go, "You're fired."
5 pounds. Oh, that's a lot of chiba.
Yeah.
Is that what you're sending out to people?
It's a pretty hefty package.
Legal state of Colorado?
Yeah, no, I'm not sending that. You can't mail that stuff.
Damn it.
You can't mail that kind of stuff. But no, and both packages are going to your place, so.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
9 pounds of stuff. Wow, I'm off to a good start.
Wow.
I'm nap. Sorry. I'm still not thinking that clearly yet.
Well, I got home from house sitting yesterday and was dealing with several different catastrophes. And I was asleep by 10 o'clock last night and did not wake up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I passed out. I slept like the dead. But I mean, I was sick all week last week. And then I got stalked by a mountain lion. And so I had a busy week last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you hear the whole mountain lion story?
Most of it, but you can retell that. Did it make another appearance and stuff like that? I know it followed you to your porch, but
yeah. Well, I was house sitting out in the sticks, and there's a good 15 acres surrounding this house that I was watching, and I was also dog sitting, and I had been baking Christmas cookies, and I was hot, because the kitchen there gets really, really hot when you use the oven. So I learned, and I had been baking Christmas cookies, which I posted a picture of on Facebook, and so I finished the cookies and I was hot and I wanted to go outside, and my car was parked about 25 feet from the front door of the house, and it was snowing. And when the wind is not blowing and it's snowing, it's just that dead quiet. It was literally dead quiet.
Dead of winter. That's what that saying comes from.
Yeah. It was dead quiet, and it was dark. It wasn't even 6 o'clock in the evening yet, but it was dark. And so I'm standing out at the car and I'm having a smoke, and I heard a twig snap. And I'm going, well, maybe it was a deer, and so I'm looking, out in the brush. And I sent you a picture of, of the view from the bedroom window at the house where I was staying, and it's all sagebrush and pinyon trees. And off in the distance, probably maybe 15 yards from where I was standing, so not far at all. 15 yards is what, 45 feet? I saw a silhouette in the darkness, and I'm like, that is not a deer. So I flicked my butt in the snow, which I never do. I'm usually a very, considerate smoker. I always put everything out, throw it in the garbage, whatever. Flicked the butt in the snow and booked it into the house. I get in the house, close the door behind me, and I turn around so I could shut off the porch light, and I look out the window right next to the front door,
Hmm.
and this mountain lion was on the front porch.
Wow.
It had chased me into the house, or it had
Holy
chased me to the
crap.
house. Yeah, and it was big.
You're
I
lucky you made it.
I am lucky I made it, and I'm lucky that the dog wasn't with me. I had asked the dog, I'm like, "You want to go outside? I'm going to go outside. You want to go outside?" And he just laid there. And
Dogs like hells no.
yeah, but let me tell you,
Mountain lions out there.
when I got in the house, and went to turn off the porch light, and I saw what was going on, he was barking behind me. He knew something was out there. He's like,
Yeah, it's
"Oh,
like, see, I told you. See?
yeah, yeah," and
Stupid
so
human.
yeah, and so of course, I've been catching a lot of flack for that over the last few days, because up until then, I thought mountain lions hibernated.
Hmm.
I really did. I thought they hibernated, but apparently they don't.
Apparently not. No, I guess the big cats don't hibernate.
No.
They
And
just
so,
take naps.
yeah, I've had people tell me, well, next time you go out to your car, take one of your ghost hunting laser grids with you, to distract
Right,
the kitty,
right.
or take some catnip. And Susan, my good friend Susan, whom she says, well, don't you think maybe now it's time to quit smoking? And I said, after what I just went through, I think I need to smoke something a little stronger. So,
Right.
yeah. And
Yeah, that's rugged, and they are no joke. They will kill you.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cats are, yeah,
I was
they're not
seconds
like your
away
house
from
cats. And a
becoming,
house cat can mess you up. House cats
well,
have the ability to mess you up if they want to.
well, especially this one that's meowing at me right now because he's high as a kite. Yeah. And I don't know if you can hear him meowing at me or
I
not, but
can.
I,
That's Bubba.
yeah, that's Bubba Lou. And I picked up some more, he loves catnip, but what he really likes is this catnip mist that you get.
Oh yeah.
It's like 97 cents at Walmart. And
Wow.
yeah, in fact, he's all leaning over and sniffing. I don't, can you see his paw?
Well, liquid nip, huh?
Yeah, it's liquid nip. And so,
How do you do that? You spray it in his mouth, or
no,
yeah?
usually I spray it on his paws and he licks his paws and gets
Huh?
high. But tonight I missed because he moved right as I was spraying it, and so he got it right in the face. Oops.
Yeah. Maybe he likes that.
Yeah, he loves it. And but it makes him obnoxious, like super obnoxious. And so yeah, when I went to Walmart today to go mail packages to you, and of course missed the closing time by 5 stupid minutes. I know, well, I had to pick up cat litter and stuff anyway, and he was he just rolled off the couch. Dummy. I picked up some more of that catnip mist and everything, and came home and I set it down on the desk. Didn't say, Bubba, I picked up a treat or anything. I set it down on the desk. That cat, he must be able to smell it through the bottle.
Probably.
Because he was like a shot up and will you stop chewing on my blanket?
So
I just
a
got
mountain lion smells blood.
Yeah. Well, and apparently that mountain lion thought that I smelled pretty tasty because he literally, he chased me to the house.
Yeah. He
And
would have eaten you.
yeah.
Well, I was telling you about the mountain lion attacks, like some that I've read about for the older mountain lions that can't keep up with the pack anymore. They can't hunt the way they did because what they hunt in nature is a lot faster than humans.
Right.
And they'll resort to humans. It's not what they want. We're not their choice meal.
Oh, so it wasn't that I smelled good. It was just I was the only
it's just
option.
That he was really hungry.
Wow.
So
thanks.
if they're
That
starving,
just
they will attack a human, and a human has no chance against them. Really, you can't beat off a mountain lion. It doesn't work.
No.
So, yeah.
Stop. I just got this blanket. Stop chewing on my blanket. We had our CCPI Christmas party on Friday night. and we do it because there's so many of us. There's 13 of us, and so we do a Secret Santa. And my Secret Santa got me this awesome ladybug blanket. I love it. It's awesome. For our listeners that don't know, I love ladybugs. I have since I was little bitty. Since I was little. My mom can tell you
You're
stories.
a little bug of a lady.
Yeah. My mom can tell you stories about me bringing ladybugs in the house when I was little, like 2 or 3. And stop chewing on my blanket, fart knocker. And so my Secret Santa got me a ladybug blanket and a ladybug floor mat for my bathroom and a matching ladybug necklace and bracelet. It was very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were decked out, and you would have thought it would have been like a ghost pillow or something. Or
you would think.
Ghost earrings.
You would think, because that's what we do a Secret Santa exchange, but because it's my organization, I still do something for everybody. And I handmade ghost ornaments for everybody, which I do every year. And I also handmade ghost pot holders this year.
Nice.
Yeah. And, and there were a couple other little, odds and ends, little ghosty odds and ends that I gave to.
Something to use for the dumb supper on salmon.
Yeah. On Samhain, yeah. Maybe.
Not salmon.
Salmon. Are you hungry?
Hey, I still call it Samhain. I ain't gonna lie. It sucked with the pagan holidays.
I figure you're hungry because you just said salmon.
Salmon? Something to do on salmon?
Salmon. I don't know. After last week's show, I think I'm going to start celebrating Krampusnacht.
Yeah, me too. That was fun. It was good having Corvus and Kevin on, and
yeah,
that was exciting.
I did order. That it wasn't just a radio shtick. I did order their book while we were on the air.
Did you receive it yet? Probably not.
No, it's still in production.
Mm.
It is still in production. So as soon as it officially goes to print, and Corvus said he was going to send me 2 copies, so I'll send you I'll send you the second copy because I really don't need 2 copies. I mean, I can only read one at a time. Right. So I'll be sending you the other copy, but
sure, it'll be a quality book.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Corvus's books, and they're always good. Great pictures in them. Great paper and stuff that they use, materials to make them.
Yeah, it's
well done.
Yeah, it's good quality stuff. But did you hear about? I'm trying to get to it on my screen here on my computer. If the computer doesn't freeze up on me. Of course, Chrome is not responding now. There was a school in Malaysia that actually shut down over reports of ghosts in the school.
No, I didn't. I missed that.
And as soon as it comes up on my screen, right now I've got, the white screen. There the page is loading. The government is calling it mass hysteria. But the headline reads, Malaysian school shuts down after teachers and students claim to see spirits and hear screams. Wow. And yeah. And local media has called the case mass hysteria. And it was at the SKM Pangkalan Chapa 2 school. That's the school located in the city of Kota Baru. They're reporting supernatural experiences, and so far there have been three attacks of hysteria. The principal said that all victims described the same black figure. And now they're saying 50 pupils suffered attacks along with 11 teachers. Several students said they had seen the ghostly figure in the canteen, which we would call the cafeteria, the hall, and classrooms. Let's see. Authorities brought in Islamic traditional experts, scholars, and witch doctors in a bid to rid the school of the problem. But reports of the screaming and shouting continue. One of the teachers, I will try to pronounce this name, Noraliwadi Ramli.
Sounds good.
Yeah, is a teacher. Said, when I was holding one of the pupils, my arms felt extraordinarily heavy. I recited the istighfar, which is seeking forgiveness from Allah. Things were truly out of control at the time, but after the pupil recovered and went home, I then felt as though someone was hanging onto the left side of my body. I saw flashes of black like a black figure, is what she said. Another teacher, Kamaria Ibrahim, said she tried to recite verses from the Quran when she realized that she was losing control of herself. She also reported a black figure and said it was trying to enter her body. Her head felt bloated, and she had tears running down her face. And she was reciting things from the Quran, but began to feel better after about an hour. And
her head felt bloated.
That's what she said. Her head felt bloated. And, this isn't the first time.
Not sure I've had that experience.
Well, this isn't the first time that things like these have happened in Middle Eastern schools. In 2002, the WHO, the World Health Organization, blamed an outburst of poisoning at a girls' school. Was more likely mass hysteria, or a Taliban plot. And then there was a laughter epidemic in 1962.
A laughter epidemic. Now,
yeah.
I've heard something about that.
Yeah.
Tied into mass hysteria, not too long ago. I forget where I saw that, but
go ahead, do tell. This was in 1962. And it was also, dismissed as an outbreak of mass hysteria. It was just continuous laughter, and the school ultimately closed. But schools in neighboring villages were reportedly affected, which eventually, it stopped after, months after it began. And then more recently in 2013, students in the Philippines were claiming to be possessed by evil spirits at a high school, and classes were suspended then. So I'm not sure what's going on the other side of the planet, but I know that the authorities are real quick to dismiss these events as reports of mass hysteria. And, I don't know if that's a cultural thing for them to call it mass hysteria and not potentially paranormal, or, I think if something like that were to happen in the States, it would be dismissed as a hoax. But I also think it would be thoroughly investigated to find the source of the hoax.
Right.
And what do you think about
funny. Well, I did just see, and I don't know if it was like a YouTube video, something about that story in Africa in 1962 about the mass hysteria and the laughter in the school. And it went on for months. They eventually had to close down the school because of the laughter. That's funny. I just saw that this week, and I forget what night I saw it, but you and I didn't talk about it, but I saw that same story. Even though it's an older story, I wasn't familiar with it. And yeah, I'm kind of just looking here to see what the causes of that kind of mass hysteria are, because
they pumping nitrous oxide in the air vents. What are they doing?
Right. It's like it was contagious, seeing somebody else do it. It seemed to catch on.
Laughter is
then they
contagious.
just couldn't. Exactly, and they couldn't help themselves. And this went on from like January to I think like March or April or something in that school. Eventually, they had to shut it down because the kids wouldn't stop laughing.
Now, there's a reason to go to school, to just sit there and laugh all day. I would go to
Right?
school. I would go to school to laugh all day.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Just,
But mass hysteria is kind of an interesting thing. They've used it to, blame all sorts of events that people see, including religious pareidolia and things of that nature.
mm-hmm,
Sightings of the Virgin Mary could be,
mm-hmm.
deemed as mass hysteria, UFOs, aliens, and yes, ghosts.
Yeah. So if something like that were to happen in the States, let's say the local high school is, students and staff are reporting seeing a black figure. Um, teachers are reported having bloated heads, etc. And I'm using these words deliberately, because those are the words used in the article I just read.
Mm-hmm. Bloated heads, yeah.
Yeah, bloated heads. How do you think the authorities in the U.S. would handle that?
Well, how do they handle it? They have things like that happen. I don't know. I don't know that they even take it all that seriously, in our times with mass shootings every other day.
Well, I would like to think that they would call in, knowledgeable people such as yourself or myself, to come in and investigate. But if they're not going to call in, paranormal researchers, who are they going to call? And how is this going to be investigated?
Psychologists.
Okay. Psychologists, that's it.
People in the medical field. They would probably start there.
And schools in the U.S. do have psychologists on the payroll.
Sure. I think paranormal experts and parapsychologists got to get called last.
Probably, which is sad.
Right? Like, as a last-ditch effort to explain something they can't explain.
It's certainly less expensive for a school district, and school districts in the U.S. are severely underfunded.
Mm-hmm.
So it would certainly be less expensive to call the paranormal teams in first than it would be to, call in, psychologists and psychiatrists, people in the, in the psychiatry field. It would certainly be less expensive to call in, paranormal researchers first, but I don't know.
I would suppose if, one school did it and had a high profile case and got results that made, say, the news that was successful results, that ghost was removed, the haunting stopped, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly without religious influence, wasn't exercised under the Catholic diocese or something like that.
Right.
The Pope didn't have to ordain it. That it may catch on with other schools.
I don't
Should
know.
they have that problem in the future, because it would create a good name for it.
I know. You hear stories about abandoned schools being haunted.
Right, and nobody cares. They're just abandoned.
Yeah, they're abandoned. It doesn't affect their children. It doesn't affect their children's education, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So why should they pay attention to it? But active schools, if the high school here in little Podunk Rifle, Colorado, were suddenly being plagued by, a black shadow figure, that's attacking the students and giving the teachers bloated heads,
Right.
Yeah. I'd like to think, that they would call me, but
right. That's in real time with real students. The abandoned schools, like you say. I think of the Woodbine School. I think is in Dayton, Massachusetts. I don't think that's over the Rehoboth line. I think that's still Dayton over there. It's an old school from like the 1800s, something like that. And supposedly,
or the Ladd School in Rhode Island.
Occasionally, people, peek in the windows and they see class in session.
Yeah,
I've done it myself. I didn't see the class in session.
You didn't see class in session?
No, but it was a little schoolhouse, very cute, very, very New England.
Well, there's the Ladd School in Rhode Island, which has been
bigger than my bedroom.
Yeah, a little bigger than your bedroom, little one-room
Yeah,
schoolhouse.
very small. It's a one-room schoolhouse. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but not to beat a dead horse, but I would like to think that the schools would take it seriously, and if it's affecting numerous students, that they would contact the proper authorities, and by proper, contact somebody with some experience in this, and try to get the problem solved. And again, calling in paranormal research teams is a lot less expensive than calling in a bunch of psychologists. So
It is, but there are a lot of teams. I guess it would help to advertise, but that may look a little crazy, right? You walk into the school and you get your flyers and like, just in case you experience any kind of haunting or mass hysteria, I want you to know
mhm.
we're out here for you.
Yeah. Well, I went and got my hair cut the other day, and the gal that was cutting my hair, it was Friday, um, and I told her, I'm going to a Christmas party. Oh, what's your Christmas party for? And I told her it was for CCPI. She goes, oh, really? She goes, my house is haunted. I'm like, you want us to check it out? She goes, nope, we live with it peacefully. I'm like, that's great. I said, but if in the future you decide you want us to come and check it out, here's my card.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, I'm always doing that. you know my CCPI team members, they laugh hysterically because we'll go have dinner somewhere. We'll go to Olive Garden or Applebee's or someplace like that, a nice sit down restaurant, which for Podunk, Colorado, Olive Garden and Applebee's are nice sit down restaurants. And and with my with either with the tip or with my credit card receipt or whatever, I'll leave a business card. And they laugh at me all the time, but you'd be surprised at how many cases we get because somebody picked up our business card, somewhere, or I'll leave it on a bulletin board at Taco Bell. And,
Right, right. Well, that's a great idea,
yeah.
And then to be successful in your business and probably why you're successful in your business.
Well,
Yeah, what you put into it.
we've been around for 14 years, so we're doing something right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I said that there's a lot of paranormal teams out there, I wasn't insinuating that you shouldn't have one. Just saying, I'm from the perspective of a person who doesn't know one from another.
Right.
They say, oh, geez, I need to look something up, and you Google it. Well, there you go. You're going to get a lot back.
Yeah.
So where do I go from here?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, it pays to advertise. It costs to advertise, but it pays to advertise.
Then they don't have to look, right? Okay, I got that card in Taco Bell. Let's just call these people.
Yep. Yep. But no, I mean, we'll get calls from people going, hey, I got this business card and I think there's something going on in my house. Can you come check it out? And we're like, yeah, sure, we'll come check it out. But it is time for us to take our bottom of the hour break. But when we come back, Chris and I are going to have another exciting topic to talk about. So stay tuned, folks. You are listening to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio on the LNM Radio Network. We will be right back.
Well, I just gotta say something. I just gotta say something. Guys, y'all are wonderful. And I have been thinking, for both of you, I gotta wish you both not only a merry, merry upcoming little Christmas, but, I have to say that y'all have the most wonderful show on the network. I just thought about it. I mean,
what do you want?
What I want? I don't know. Maybe.
Are you going to tell us the rates are going up or something? What's going on?
Oh, Chris, all you think about is, Well, no, I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you.
Oh.
Well, thank you, sir. We missed you last week.
Okay. Well, now to the commercial.
Welcome back to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio here on the LNM Radio Network. I'm your host, Clarissa Vasquez. Riding shotgun, as always, is my faithful and trusty sidekick, Mr. Chris Carr. Maybe. Did we lose Chris? We may have lost Chris. Or Chris, are you muted? I see your lips moving,
Hey,
but there we go.
that better?
Yeah, that's better.
I'm sorry, you missed me do that rerun thing of going, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I need something more original there, I think. Maybe that's a sign to change that up a little bit.
Be like Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey. And we're dating ourselves again.
Yeah, yeah. Next it'll be Kool-Aid commercials.
Hey, Kool-Aid.
Crashing through brick walls.
Yeah. You gotta give it to those advertisers though. They are pretty creative with stuff like that. I mean, how many packets of Kool-Aid did that big old pitcher crashing through a wall sell?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. They put a little bit into that one. Like, what was in the commercial for Tang?
I don't remember Tang commercials. I still drink Tang. Especially when I'm sick, I drink hot Tang.
That's all I know from my youth. I doubt they still do, but I think back in those days, in the Apollo missions, I think they drank Tang and they advertised that somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I still drink Tang, especially when I'm sick.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Yep. Hot Tang. That was
Hot
when.
Tang.
Yep. Hot Tang. Make it with
What
hot water.
every teenage boy dreams of.
Hot Tang, not Poontang.
Poontang. Is that a Vietnamese girl?
I don't know.
I think I heard Daryl laugh.
Daryl's not on camera, so I can't see if he's fallen out of his chair. But so another interesting news bit that I stumbled across today, and I sent you this one. There was a mom in, I think it was Washington State, that recorded. She was using one of those communication apps. It wasn't Skype. And I think the article says somewhere on here what the app was, but she captured footage of a figure in and out of the frame while she's talking to her friend via this app. And I watched the video, and I don't know how she can possibly think it's a teenage boy, but that's she's a mother of 4, and she believes it's a teenage boy that was popping in and out of the screen behind her while she's on this video call with her friend. And she's out of Yakima, Washington. So Washington State here, here in the U.S. And the app was called Marco Polo. So I'd never heard of that. Have you ever heard of the Marco Polo app?
No, is that like some kind of hookup app or something?
No, it's apparently it's like Skype, but it records the conversation.
Like Periscope?
No.
Periscope, not
Yeah.
Periscope.
Yeah.
There's a Periscope.
Yeah. She says she had just moved into her apartment, so she was video chatting with her friend, to show her around the apartment, kind of like what you and I did when you just moved into your new place. And let's see, the Marco Polo app, which is like a video walkie-talkie. You can hit the start button to record, and others can watch you in real time like a regular video call, and then you can replay it. And the friend asked if there was somebody in the house with her, and she said no, and she got really frightened, and she went back and rewatched the video, and there's definitely something there. In my opinion, it does not look like a teenage boy. Looks more like a 8 or 10-year-old, dressed up as a ET, like a Halloween costume. but the house that she was in was built in 1935, and it's located in the oldest part of town, and sits right next to a hospital from the early 1800s and a nursing home. But despite the horrific ordeal, she says she's going to stay in the house. And she, she says she's going to stay, and she said she's watched the video probably 1,000 times, and it still creeps her out. But she believes that it wanted to be seen and seemed to be playful, and so she's gonna stay. And so did you? I know I sent you the link. Did you watch the video?
I didn't get to watch the video, no.
Okay.
I know it sounds terrible, but I took a nap. I was exhausted. I had a lot of stuff to do today. I came home and I think I told you I hadn't read up on anything, and I ended up like sleeping for an hour. And here I am.
Good thing we didn't have a guest tonight, or you'd have been up the creek.
Maybe.
Maybe. But and I want to thank you again for filling in on Periscope last week, because I was so sick. And we are going to have Ben Robison back to talk more about his CERM hypothesis. Maybe we'll have him here on Hidden World.
Cool. I enjoyed talking to him. I like his hypothesis. Some of the stuff he's talking about is stuff I've considered before. And I like that topic of trying to make a device that can record in more frequencies than the devices generally are, because they're made for other purposes.
Right.
It's something I've given a lot of thought about too myself. So I'd like to know how he's doing, his progress. Yeah, we could definitely talk on that.
Yeah, and in fact, I talked to Ben today because I sent him an ornament.
Nice.
I sent him one of the ghost ornaments, and so he sent me a picture today of it hanging on his Christmas tree. And so did Rick McCallum. I sent him one, and he sent me a picture of it on his Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Did you send Corvus one?
I did not send one to Corvus. I don't have Corvus's address.
You should send like a whole box of them to Kevin. Do you have Kevin on Facebook?
I do have Kevin on Facebook.
I don't know if you noticed, but he's got like 17 Christmas trees, and I don't know why.
No, I don't have
He really does. I've been meaning to message him and ask him about why he does this, which is something I'm sure a lot of people ask. But he's literally got these pictures in his house, like, on one wall, there's like 4 different Christmas trees. And I like just got 3, and he's got wreaths everywhere too. I don't know. He must have like 20 wreaths.
Wow.
Yeah.
He really likes Christmas.
He does. He's got a thing. And I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for this, but I don't, for the life of me, know what it is.
I don't know.
But he has Christmas trees all over his house, yeah.
Well, I've only got two ornaments left that I can give out. And of course, one will be on its way to you tomorrow. That's not included in the 2 that I have left, but there is an ornament in your box that's headed your direction. But
well, thank you.
You're welcome. You got last year's ornament too, I think.
Yeah, I do. I've got it in my box because I haven't decorated yet.
Yeah, there's besides my.
So they'll both be up there this year. I plan on decorating like this week. I got to get that together. We're well into December now and past the Halloween holidays that we all treasure so much.
Well, my Christmas tree, is full of ghost ornaments, or rather, it will be as soon as I get it put up. I've got to wait for the offspring to get here so he can get the tree and stuff out of the shed, because I still can't lift anything. And
I want the black Christmas tree.
I do too, and I went to Walmart today to price them, and the Walmart here is out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was
you
actually.
Sell them at Walmart?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a special order.
No, they had them here at the Walmart here. They had them, and so when I was at Walmart today buying catnip and kitty litter for the fur ball that is now purring in my lap.
And a cat.
Yeah. There you can see him sitting in my lap.
Hey, Bubba.
Chris says hi. You gonna meow? He's like, no, I am pleasantly stoned and quite content sitting in mommy's lap. No, I went to price them today, so I could maybe pick one up next week, and they're out. And so as soon as Offspring gets home, he'll be home on the 21st. So a week from Friday, he'll be home, and we'll have him. I'll have him get the Leaning Tower of Treza
Oh my
out
God,
of.
a week from Friday is the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll have him get
I
everything out
haven't
of the
started
shed.
Christmas shopping yet. It's horrible.
I'm
I got
done.
everything thrown into moving, and oh my God, very expensive. I'm behind on everything.
I am completely done with my holiday shopping, minus the scratch tickets I have to buy for my stepfather. I get him $20 worth of scratch tickets every year for Christmas and be like, here you go. If you get anything overly huge, you got to split it. But I think last year he won $2. But
I don't want it to cut.
but out of $2, I mean,
Like, hey, it cost me 20. At least you can do is give me $1 back, man.
give me $1.
Give me a buck.
Give me $1. But no, I'm all done. And over the weekend, well, I guess it was Friday. I got all of your gifts and stuff wrapped up and boxed up and everything. And I was gonna FedEx it today, but if I hadn't slept for 16 hours, I'd have probably made it to FedEx before they closed.
That's okay, and thank you.
You're welcome. And I will
Sorry
go
to
on
say
record.
I haven't gotten you nor anyone else a damn thing.
I will go on record and say that everything that's in your Christmas box you can open in front of your kids.
That's good. That's good.
There's
Thank you for
nothing pervy in
sending me an elephant penis or something
What would you do with an elephant penis? Come on.
and mount it. Not
Hang it on your
literally.
wall.
I would put it over my fireplace. I understand they're huge.
You may be able to get one from that Bad Dragon website. I don't
What
know.
is it?
Bad Dragon?
Bad Dragon?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's an adult novelty website.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one, Clarissa.
Yeah. You can obtain supposedly dragon phalluses. Right?
Really?
Silicone replicas of dragon phalluses.
Right. Well, I know they make ghost ones. Since I
You were
used
telling me
pictures of
about
them
that.
in one of our videos, yeah. And to beat the dead horse, it was the video on spectrophilia from the show we did on spectrophilia.
Yeah, we were told we had to stop talking about spectrophilia on this show, though.
Yeah. Well, she was right.
That makes me sad.
Doing it too much. However, in that particular YouTube video, I do occasionally throw up weird pictures, so it's not too boring to listen to. And I put up pictures of ghost dillies.
Yeah.
Because they're a thing, too.
Yeah. Well, but on Bad Dragon, you can also get silicone versions of horse penis.
Oh, really?
Etc. Yeah.
Horse is a horse, a horse is a horse. Nobody can talk to a horse, a horse.
Yeah. Pretend you're Catherine the Great, without the ropes and pulleys. You've heard about Catherine the Great, right?
And what she did to horses? No.
That's how she died. She had a favorite horse, and she had a favorite horse, and yes, a stallion, and using a system of pulleys and ropes, and she would have her servants hoist the horse up and then lower the horse onto her, and one fateful day one of the ropes broke and the horse came crashing down, and that's how Catherine the Great met her end.
Wow, I did not know that. Thank you for that historical tidbit. That's great.
Yeah.
Did the horse go to a bar afterwards and the bartender said, "Hey, why the long face?"
I don't know.
Is that the origins of that joke?
I don't know. Uh, but yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
that is
you can
how.
learn something every Sunday here on Hidden World.
Yes.
Something you didn't know. I
Some
know I certainly do.
Yeah. See, this is one of the times where being a history major in college, has its benefits.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, I did that. Not know that. I never
Yeah.
heard that story. That's great.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I can't believe you didn't know that. That shocks me
It
that
had
that
caused
you
quite
didn't.
a ripple in the community.
Well, especially considering the time period.
Right. Peasants must have been fussing about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I just, imagine, the poor servants though that that were tasked with, raising and lowering this horse.
Did the
And
horse keep going after she was dead?
I don't know. I don't know
Probably.
I don't
The
know
horse
all
is
of the
probably just
gory
going to go
details.
until it was all set.
It may have killed the horse or maimed the horse to the point where it had to be put down. I don't know. Uh,
I hope he got one off before the bullet came down. Thanks. Wasn't his fault.
yeah, I don't know. And so, maybe the ghost of Catherine the Great, maybe it's kind of a really macabre Lady Godiva version, instead of, the ghost riding bareback, through the wilderness, maybe it's the ghost of Catherine the Great screwing the hell out of this horse. I don't know.
Maybe. I guess if it's good for the horse. I just started watching A Handmaiden's Tale last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, being used for sex. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
No, is it on Netflix?
It's on Hulu. It's a Hulu
Oh,
exclusive.
yeah, I don't have Hulu. I have
Yeah, it
Netflix.
takes place in the future, and women's rights have changed dramatically.
Really?
The lead character is basically works as livestock to have babies for rich gentlemen who couples who can't have babies.
Wow. So
Yeah,
kind of like an Ayn Rand anthem kind of a story.
yeah, they more or less inject her, the husband
Oh, okay.
while she sits in the lady's lap. They treat her like total crap, like she's a vacuum cleaner or something. And yeah, it's interesting.
Wow. Yeah, too bad that's not on Netflix. I would watch that.
Yeah, look for it if it comes over because won a lot of awards. Pretty interesting tale. At least it seems like it's going to be.
Huh.
I'm
Now,
only
did you ever get around to watching Humanity?
no.
You really need to watch Humanity. There are some serious
You need
talking points that we
to
can
remind
watch
me
on
about that.
this that we can use on this show. There are some serious talking points we can use on this show if you watch Humanity.
I'm on it. It sounded really interesting. I do want to see it. I just keep
Yeah.
forgetting.
Yeah. You and that slippery memory.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but
It's called
another,
old age. Thank you.
well, considering you just had a birthday and everything, um, gotta
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
rub it in a little bit. You're another year older than me.
yeah. 39.
Yeah,
But
39.
if I'm 39, that means you're
30.
38. So
No, if
30,
you're
something
39,
like
that means I'm 30.
that. Yeah.
I'll take that.
See, exactly. All the
I'll
more
take,
reason to back
yeah,
me up on this point.
yeah, I'll take that. I'll take it. Yep, you're 39, I'm 30. We can,
Cool. That
we
works.
can, we can stay like that.
That works.
We act like it.
Yeah.
Except when we go on the air and start talking about, stuff from the 70s and uh,
Right.
lose all of our listeners, under the age of
Hey, did you
30.
like Solid Gold with Danny Terrio?
Or what was that Dick Clark show? It was a live Dick American Bandstand.
Mm,
Remember American Bandstand?
I do. I do. Do you remember when Alice Cooper was on the Muppet Show doing Welcome to My Nightmare, and they had all the scary Muppets?
I don't remember that. I'm going to have to YouTube that.
Yeah, that's why you should.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Although Jax posted my favorite Muppet. He posted my favorite Muppet on Facebook yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. It was the Swedish Chef. And he posted it with the caption, this is what I say, when somebody posts a photo of an orb.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
That was him that posted that?
Yeah, it was Jax that posted it.
I think the first word was Furk, right?
Vert the Furk.
F-U-R-K?
Yeah, Vert the Furk.
Furk?
Yeah.
Furk you or something?
No, it said Vert the Furk.
Oh, what the Furk?
Vert the Furk.
Yeah.
And so for the rest of the day, Jax and I are going back and forth, with each other going bork, 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 because the Swedish Chef is my favorite Muppet.
We can say Furk on the radio too, thankfully.
Well, yeah, it's cutting it close, but we can say that.
It's something a Muppet said off air.
It's a Muppet. It's Jim Henson. It's wholesome family entertainment.
Free time.
That's right.
Muppets have free time too.
Yeah. I mean, Kermit and Miss Piggy, the ultimate the ultimate interracial relationship was Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Right.
That wasn't just interracial, that was interspecies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even Bubba agrees with that. So,
yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm gonna let it go.
I wonder if that's where the term porking came from.
Maybe.
Or not, from Kermit and Piggy. Piggy tastes like chicken.
Yeah. There's some joke about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe Piggy says Kermit tastes like chicken. I don't know. I don't know.
You okay over there, Clarissa?
No,
Send you Muppet videos for Christmas.
Please don't. I'll be going bork, bork, bork on every show.
That's funny.
But I do have a big announcement to make, but we're just a couple of minutes away from break, and the big announcement is gonna take a few minutes, and so I want to wait until we come back from commercial to make this big announcement, because it actually affects you. It potentially affects you, and so it was just decided upon Friday, and it's going to be huge. So actually, why don't we go to commercial a little bit early? Actually, it's only a minute early. So we're going to go ahead and take our top of the hour break. When we come back, I'll be making a big announcement. So you're listening to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio here on the LNM Radio Network. We will be right back.
Hey, hold on.
What?
I got to ask a question. What's the big announcement?
You'll find out after we come back from commercial, Daryl.
Come on, Chris, man. I know you know something about this.
Chris knows
I don't know
nothing.
anything about it.
Okay.
I know nothing.
Can I guess?
Yes, you can guess.
You're having twins.
I already have twins.
So Kermit says, I don't always eat bacon, but when I do, I make a shower first.
Welcome back to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio here on the LNM Radio Network. I'm your host with the most, Clarissa Vasquez. Riding shotgun, as always, is my faithful and trusty sidekick, Mr. Chris Carr.
Here I am.
And he is joined by his two faithful companions, King and Poe.
That's right. My kitties.
I see Poe's
I have
tail.
a cat rodeo going on over here.
Oh, you do? Ow!
I do.
Speaking of which, Bubba just attacked my foot. Ow!
Right,
Stop
right.
it.
Well, the listeners probably don't know, but we can see each other on cam when we're doing this show. So we're in different states and stuff, and we're just sitting here showing each other's cats, like doing funny things, and of course this cat Bubba keeps stepping on her,
Keep
clawing her.
stepping on me. I know. They
Yeah.
they were playing that Know Your Breast commercial during the break,
Mm-hmm.
and Bubba was actually
Know
making
your
biscuits on
girls.
my chest. I know. I know. He was making biscuits on my chest, and it didn't tickle.
Making biscuits.
He was. He was making biscuits. You know how they need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bubba does
Oh, I
that a
know.
lot. Bubba Lou does that a lot. So
Bubba,
yes, he
bad
wink.
boy.
You say hi. And so
Oh, but
he's
where's the ghost?
yeah.
Where's the ghost?
Yeah, he's a good
There's a
kitty.
paranormal into this. We're training our cats to detect ghosts, and then we're gonna lease them
Yeah, we're gonna
to
release him.
paranormal teams
Yeah.
as ghost detectors, so you can get your K2 and one of our cats for one low price.
Well, I don't know about a low price.
Depending on what the cat did that day, how it
Yeah.
behaved,
Yeah.
price could fluctuate.
Yes. Prices and availability may vary.
Right.
I don't know. You've heard me threaten him within an inch of all 9 of his lives, so because he does have a tendency to be a naughty boy sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Animals do seem to have an intuition for these things, or be able to see things maybe we can't. Or perhaps they see more of those frequencies than we're able to record, or our eyes are able to see, our senses are able to pick up as humans.
Possibly. Possibly.
Miss
But
Piggy said, I would have called you sooner, but I had a frog in my throat.
yes, well, Miss
Getting
Piggy
back to our other
frequently
topic,
Miss
dirty
frequently
Muppets.
Miss Piggy frequently has a frog in her throat from what I understand. So, tastes like chicken. But so big announcement. Um, we at CCPI are actually in the process of lining up a huge investigation next summer at the Redstone Castle here in
Redstone.
Colorado. Yeah, Redstone.
Wow,
And it's going to
that's really
be,
cool.
yeah, it's going to be an exclusive. And we have sent out an open invitation for ECCPI to join us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. When are you thinking about doing that?
We're I'm working with the owners of the castle. They are members of the historical society as well as myself. And Chris, you gotta stop doing that when I'm on the air, or I won't be able to keep my train of thought. He's sending me dirty Muppet pictures, you guys. Um, uh, so we're reaching out to them because they're in the process of renovating the castle and ultimately opening it as a bed and breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to get exclusive access to the castle, um, before that renovation is complete and before they certainly before they open as a B&B. But we
When
have
you say castle, how big is it approximately? Like, what can I compare it to?
well, over the summer you and I investigated SK Pierce mansion together.
Mm-hmm.
And you can expect probably 6 times bigger than that.
Mm, that's huge.
It is huge.
Right. This Vesque Pierce, for our listeners that don't know, is a big and quite large Victorian mansion.
That's
Lots
what he
of
said.
rooms, many floors, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So, yeah, 6 times that, you would say?
Hmm.
Is it stone,
Yes.
like you would picture a castle to be?
Hmm.
I'm not familiar with it. Did you
Yeah,
know some of the backstory?
I do know some of the backstory, and in fact, the gentleman that built it, he was his last name was Osgood, and he had a mansion, a 3-story mansion built. Oh, there's King. Hi, King. Um, he had a 3-story mansion built for he and his, I think it was his third wife, to live in while the castle was being completed. And I have actually investigated that mansion.
Okay.
Yeah. And you've heard I think you've heard some of the stories about, I love the tail in the camera. Hi, King. Uh, you've heard some of the stories of that investigation. We had a full-bodied apparition actually come into the living room area and sit down across from myself and 2 other investigators one evening, and some
Yes.
other some other interesting stuff. And that was at the mansion that Osgood and his wife lived in while the castle was being built. And his after Osgood passed, and I believe it was during World War II. There used to be a lot of wrought iron on the property.
Excuse me.
The entire property used to be surrounded by wrought iron fence, and there was a lot of wrought iron sculpture. And during World War II, after Osgood passed, his 4th wife sold a lot of that iron to be used in the war effort. So the a lot a lot of the wrought iron is gone, but there is still a gorgeous wrought iron dragon fountain out in the courtyard of the castle, and it's a gorgeous piece of property. I've been there. The library, the walls of the library are actually covered in elephant hide.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, when you think castle, you think, stone walls and turrets, and that's exactly what this castle has. And it is deep
Elephant hide, huh?
Yep, elephant hide cover the walls of the library.
It's not politically correct, but it looked cool as hell.
It's not. And let me see if I can Google when the mansion was built and completed. I wasn't 100% prepared to discuss, all of the details, and we don't have a date locked down yet, but I know I did extend the invitation to Jax not too long ago for it to be a joint venture between CCPI and ECCPI.
In Colorado, all ventures are joint ventures.
Let's see. TheRedstoneCastle.com. Okay. Castle history. We're going to click on that just as soon as the page loads.
Well, I'm sorry. You didn't need to go all into it. I just was looking for a little background because I'm not that familiar with it. And I'm sure not all.
Well, and it's been a few years since I've been there. And I'll send you the link to this website that I'm looking at right now. It was completed in 1902. So it's 116 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, and again, the library walls are covered in elephant hide. And
I'm sure there's more selling points than the dead elephants. Dead elephants.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of.
Are you familiar with the paranormal history to it? That's kind of where I was going with that.
I've heard rumors, and really that's the approach that I'm taking with the owners of the castle right now. I'm like, let us come in, so we can, so we can either confirm the rumors or put the rumors to rest. You know what I'm saying? So let's see.
Is there a lady in white?
Haven't heard about a lady in white, but there could be.
No, I'm surprised because there's always a lady in white. There's always a black figure and a lady in white.
Yeah, no, haven't heard about a lady in white, but I have heard stories, and I know that the Redstone Inn just down the road from the castle, a lot of people claim that that one is haunted. So, um, Jax just messaged the two of us, or I don't know if he just messaged us, but I just saw the message come through, and Jax said, "Having twins, bork, bork, bork." So, yeah. So I'm sending you this picture. I'm sending it to you and Jax actually. It's a black and white of the outside of the castle, just so you can get an idea of of what it looks
Oh,
like.
okay. Yep, I see. I see Jack's message too.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see here. Oh man. What do you got going? Wow. Look at the size of that thing, the scale.
That's what
Yeah,
she said.
six times SK Pierce is maybe being modest. That is huge.
That's what he said. And so, yeah, we're excited. We want to get this. We want to land this investigation and have it be a joint venture. And and if we can't make it happen, then maybe the two teams will collaborate and go investigate the Stanley in Estes
Well,
Park.
the Stanley has the name and all of that, but I'm sure it's not the most haunted place. Although it's kind of on my bucket list. I mean, I was a big fan of The Shining.
Well, and the Stanley is where Stephen King was inspired to write The Shining.
Right, right. That's why I say that.
Yeah. And but you and I've talked about you coming out here sometime, late winter, early spring maybe. And so if we can't get a joint investigation at the Stanley, if you come out here, I'm sure you and I can go and spend some time at the Stanley.
I
Go
can
walk
figure
around.
it out.
Yeah,
That
we'll
sounds
get it
good.
figured out.
Let's see.
So yeah, so that's what we are actively looking into. The team voted on it on Friday and said, yeah, let's make it happen because ECCPI was gracious enough to host us this last summer to investigate SK Pierce together. And so, we are returning the favor and we're sending an open invitation to ECCPI to investigate, with us. Hopefully, Redstone Castle. What did you just send me? Oh my gosh, do I even want to see this?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Folks, Chris just sent me a picture of Miss Piggy
Why?
and it says
I wanted to announce it to everyone, Clarissa. I would have just
no,
said it.
I'm gonna read this on the air so everybody knows what you just sent
Go
me.
right ahead. Go
It
right
says
ahead.
it says what's green and smells like bacon? Kermit's finger.
Ta-da!
Boom, boom.
It's an old joke.
Yes, it is an old joke.
Because we're old.
You're old. I'm only 30.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. Sure. And you happen to be 30, but you remember Evil Knievel, I bet.
I do remember Evil Knievel.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember Evil Knievel.
Yeah, you're not 30.
Saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Good answer. Good answer.
I learned everything I need to know about everything that happened before 19 let's see, everything that happened before 1990 I learned about on YouTube.
Jack says, I beat you all. I'm only 19.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. If you can be 30, you can be 19. Hey, if I'm 39, I'm still happy. I don't care. I'll take it.
You'll take it, huh?
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So, and I asked Jax on Periscope, I guess a couple weeks ago, if you guys were going to do an ECCPI Christmas party and he wasn't too sure. Have you heard any updates? Is there going to be a?
Oh, there was mention in our group forum about it, and I don't know where it ended up. It's a little tough for us because we're a little bit spread apart, even though we're all, in the same couple of states. We're spread around those states, and the states are large enough where it makes it a little inconvenient. But I'd be down for anything, sure.
Yeah, we are all spread out. There's from our farthest members. There's probably 6 hours between, because Susan lives in Basalt and Alicia lives in Olathe, and it's probably a 6 hour drive from Susan's to Alicia's.
And how many pot shops are in between those residences?
Oh gosh, maybe 100.
You'll never make it. It's amazing you guys get anything done at all.
You make it sound like that's all we do out here.
It's not. That's what the news says.
I mean, marijuana is legal in Massachusetts where you live too. And...
I know, but they've only opened a couple of shops. But they opened 2 shops in the first week of business. They did something like $200 million or something ridiculous, some amazing amount of money between 2 shops, and everybody was complaining about the traffic, about they can't even drive down the street because of like one of the shops. They got people flying in around the country because they want to go to the first legal pot shop, recreational legal pot shop in Massachusetts, because we've had medical marijuana for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a little nuts. I haven't been to either of them. As far as I'm concerned, you can't beat the street. Which is to say, it's a lot less inexpensive if that is your thing.
Yeah.
To buy from friends than to buy in these shops. Although the shops have the allure of, having a little a name attached to it and getting into different strains and
variety.
I think Clarissa, I grew some last year because that is also legal out here. Yeah. It's okay to say that. And although I don't smoke a lot, and I'm not a huge smoker, but
pot smoker.
Yeah, pot smoker. When I do smoke, I'm a little spoiled since growing. It was definitely better than the stuff I was getting from my buds, so to speak.
Pardon the pun.
Right. Different flavors and effects, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now we can grow out here. You're limited to per piece of property, you can have 2 plants per registered occupant per piece of property. So, and by registered occupant, it has to be over the age of 21. So if my landlord would allow it, which they won't, I could have 2 plants here on my property. And, but where my mother lives, because she has, for all intents and purposes, my stepfather, they're not married, but they might as well be. They could have 4 plants on their property because there's 2 of them. And so I don't know, I know a lot of people that, that choose to grow their own, and I don't partake of it often enough. I mean, I bought that thing of gummies back in October, and I still have most of the bottle. So,
wow.
Well, but I bought that bottle of gummies for pain management for my shoulder. And,
sure.
And
did you find it helpful?
No, I got took because I told the sales guy, I said, I want this for pain management. I want CBD. I don't want, real high THC content. I want a high CBD content because I need this for pain management. He says, okay, this is what you need. So he sells me this bottle of gummies, and, I spent $20 on this bottle of gummies. And
it's not bad, Clarissa.
And got home and had my first gummy and was high as a kite for like 8 hours. I'm like, holy crap, am I ever going to come down from this? And that's the thing about the gummies, is it lasts forever. One gummy and I am toast for the entire day. And in fact, it was a couple of weeks ago. I had a gummy at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was on a day when you and I were doing Hidden World, and I was still baked when we were on the air.
You're a
That was
one
from
gummy kind of girl.
one gummy, and I
Kind of
was
a
at
kind of a cheap date.
yeah, cheap date, and
Hey, you want a gummy?
Uh,
It's funny.
yeah,
That's
and
great though. They know, and it shows you how powerful they are, really.
yeah,
With
and
the industry now it's accelerated, and they're probably in competition with each other for things like powerful gummies, and I'm sure they are strong.
yeah,
Quite haven't got to that point yet
these
out
have
here.
like 150 milligrams of THC and less than 2.5 of CBD.
Yeah. Well, the CBD number is always real low, even when it's a high CBD strain, because there just aren't as many as there are, in the extracts that they take.
Hmm.
It's always a lower amount. Some have just none. So even having something is usually considered kind of high. So he may have been steering you on the right track. It just may not have been that effective.
Yeah, it was totally not effective.
Yeah.
All it did was make me stupid and hungry.
I know I had an issue. The thing that got me looking at that again and partaking was I had a foot issue. I had plantar fasciitis, which is this um, kind of like thing where you get this pain in your arches, and it's
Hmm.
it's pretty excruciating. It's like even hard to walk and stuff, and it's like getting a Charlie horse in your arch kind of thing.
Right,
And I found that relieved the pain. Tylenol and ibuprofen did nothing for me.
right.
So I was like, I think I had some, and it was just
Language.
sitting in a drawer, and I hadn't really bothered with it in a while. And I tried it, and sure enough, it really did help.
Good.
Yeah, it made cereal taste a lot better too. It's amazing.
Oh,
Pancakes are so good. Ice cream, oh my God.
yeah.
Bacon,
Oh, well, every bacon goes good with everything.
it does. It does.
Yeah. Just ask Kermit.
Right.
But no, speaking of Charlie horses, you well, I'll go ahead and tell you the story, because it's a funny ass story. Um, I used to live with Susan for a while. When I was waiting for my condo to come available, I lived with Susan and her husband for a while, and I was in my bedroom
Right.
and I was trying to get something off of the shelf in the closet, and I have no idea what I did, but I reached up to grab something off the shelf in the closet, and I Charlie horsed my boob.
Wow. That can be done.
Apparently, it can.
Did it like kind of point up? Like she
No,
have one point up, 1 point down kind of thing?
no, I mean, but
Point?
there was like this giant knot on the side of my boob, and of course I'm screaming. I was in excruciating pain. And I'm pretty tough. I've got a high pain tolerance, but I mean that was awful. And Susan comes in and I'm rolling around on the bed holding my boob. She's like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "I Charlie horsed my boob." She starts laughing. She's like, "How did you Charlie horse your boob?" I'm like, "I was reaching for something on the shelf and I somehow that pectoral muscle
Hmm.
I Charlie horsed my pectoral muscle, and oh my god, it was awful. And Susan was just laughing. She could not stop laughing. I'm like, "Will you help me rub this out?" She's like, "No, I'm not touching it." So, and on that note, we have to take our last break of the evening, folks. But when we come back, more craziness with Chris and
Brown
Clarissa.
cow.
Yeah, you're listening to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio on the LNM Radio Network. We will be right back.
Bark.
Welcome back to Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio here on the LNM Radio Network. I'm your host, Clarissa Vasquez. Riding shotgun, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Carr, who is muted again. I
Daggone it,
just,
Chris. Can you talk to us, brother? You got me kind of stuck here.
Yeah. Yeah. That nap before the show, probably not a good idea. No
Yeah,
introduction
probably.
music. No before come back from commercial music.
Well,
And yeah, I'm muted like every commercial. So yeah, fantastic.
speaking of commercial bumpers, I think we need to put together like some kind of headbanging, metal something or other, to come back from commercial with because this whole bump, 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 that's like snooze fest, man. We need
Yeah,
something
we got
we can
some.
jam to.
We've got a few. We've got some comedy ones. I think we're getting stock tonight from Odin, Odin, Daryl Engineer.
Odin. Ring the bell. Daryl has to drink. We've both been saying
Ding.
Odin.
But I'll do
Uh,
it anyways.
oh, you're gonna drink anyway. Okay. And what are we drinking this evening, Chris?
Tonight we have a fine selection of craft beer
Ooh,
from Lagunitas Brewery. We are drinking a Super Cluster Ale.
super cluster.
Super Cluster.
Interesting. Very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, I actually had a pretty interesting can. I could read you some of this if you like.
I don't want to see your can on the camera.
Come with me if you want some squid. And this day, I think he meant want to live. But I'll never know for sure. And that's what it says on there.
That's what
Lacanitas Supercluster.
that's what it says on the can.
Right.
Huh.
The man died. And they thought he wanted squid. He
Squid.
simply wanted to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, what was that? The Terminator, I think. Come with me if you want to live.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a drunk Terminator.
Yeah. Come with me if you want some squid.
That's the thing Elon Musk fears the most, a drunk Terminator.
Oh, there's Poe. I see
Yep.
Poe.
I can't see stuff.
Hi, kitty. I'm going to have fun editing tonight's episode, that's for sure.
I know. I keep saying that word.
I know.
Oh, wow. You're going to learn to edit the hard way.
I'm going to have to edit that out, too.
That was kind of creepy.
That was kind of creepy.
Like, where did that come from? Like Ghost of Christmas Past. Ooh.
I think I'm going to have to edit that out, too. But what were we talking about?
While you're editing, I have to tell you that I have a ghostly experience.
You had a ghostly experience?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Did you see a full-bodied apparition?
No, I actually
or
saw
just a
this
lower-bodied apparition.
Just a shower creature. It was, how you
A
see
shower
those.
creature.
Yeah, shower creature. It was,
Do tell.
I was walking into my bathroom and this creature just went whoosh out the corner of my eyes. I saw the shower just run. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just scared of me.
No comment. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. That's a great story, Daryl. Thank you for sharing. What were we talking about before the break, Chris?
I don't know. You seem a little flustered over there, Clarissa.
Yeah. No. Oh, Charlie horses. That's what we were talking about. Charlie horses.
Maybe I missed something here.
Yeah. No, you didn't miss anything. I am choosing not to comment on Daryl's story. That's just all there is to it. Because I could take that story 6 different directions, and none of them would be appropriate for radio, I think.
In Chris's words, I would say, "Oh, you could."
In Chris's words, you were what, Daryl?
In Chris's words, I would say, "Oh, you could now,
huh?" Could you now?
Could you now? Yeah, that's a
tell.
Chrisism. Those are Chrisisms.
You did say 6 different directions.
6 different directions. Well, we were talking about squid earlier. You saw a movie like that on Pornhub?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I just want to know, what was the scariest ghostly encounter you have had? And that question goes to Chris. Krampus is here.
Oh, jeez. I have so much editing to do tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you might as well answer his question, Chris.
Scariest ghostly encounter. My scariest ghostly encounter is probably when I was a small child and my stuffed animals talked to me, Daryl. They told me things like they were going to kill my parents and when, and it was pretty horrifying. And while a lot of people write stuff off in their childhood, it was actually really, really friggin' frightening. And because we lived in a haunted house, if you will, I do consider them ghostly encounters. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Sorry, I just saw all of your comments on our chat with between you and Jax and I. I just saw
Oh,
all
is
of
it on
those.
the Skype chat? Because I never see
No,
that till we get off the call.
it's not on Skype chat. It's on the Facebook chat. The
Oh,
comments that you just left. The picture
just some
comments.
picture comments. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Goofy. See the girl from Weeds?
Yeah.
She's rocking out. We were rocking out.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, that's I
Yeah.
think we need, like some metal bumpers to come back from break though.
What happened to our Christmas bumper? I haven't heard it yet.
I don't know. I haven't heard it played on the network yet. We may have to.
I am on the other computer. You remember the last show went a little bit over, and I had to. What's the word? Drag you wonderful people on to this beautiful stand we're talking about L&M Radio Network. Yes, L&M. I had to drag y'all on air, and I'm sorry. I'm just not on my other mixer. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we go to all of that work, to build that Christmas promo, and you're not even playing it.
Oh God! Look at the inside of a snake's mouth.
We actually are. What the world is that?
That's a snake.
Are you sure that's a snake, Chris?
It looks kind of Chris. It looks like you've been. Okay,
that's a snake.
It's a snake.
Daryl, did you get the Christmas bumper Clarissa and I made?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Holiday?
And it has been played. It's been played between shows. It's a bump.
Okay. That's what we're talking about. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure she has a lot to edit tonight.
Yeah, we went to a lot of work to record that Christmas promo.
Yeah,
that was
a lot of takes
fun.
Involved. People don't understand like these simple little. We don't have like professional gear, so when we do these little sound effects and doodads, it takes some time.
Yeah, but that was fun recording that Christmas promo.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a 1-minute promo, I think, and it took us how many hours to record it?
I don't know. It took at least an hour though.
Yeah, we couldn't stop laughing.
Crap load of takes. Then we changed who says what at the end.
Yeah, we flipped the script.
Flipped the script, literally.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it didn't seem like that could even be done, but we did.
We did, and it actually sounded better when we flipped the script. But,
you're welcome.
Yeah, but it was a fun it was a fun play on a common issue that we have on this show, because you and I are both known for occasionally using some bad language on the air. And so in order to do our holiday promo, we made fun of it. We made fun of the fact that sometimes we can't watch our mouth on the air, and so if you've heard the holiday promo, you know what we're talking about. And
just call in and let us know if you've heard the holiday promo.
Yeah, or contact us via our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/CCCV Books. Send us a message. Jax says that he heard the promo once. So I don't know. Maybe Daryl or Katie will play it tomorrow night during Periscope.
Awesome.
That would be fun.
Awesome. That little Krampus song I did last week took quite a while. I guess it turns out, maybe you don't realize this, like when I record my voice and some silly little tidbit that we do, it has a delay. It doesn't record in sync with anything. So I had to speak really fast to keep up with the music, right? Because I had the Deck the Halls music.
Yeah.
Right? So if I just sang normally in time with it, what I could hear in my ear, it was totally off time and sounded ridiculous. So I had to sing like ahead of the beat.
And see, the software that I have that I use, I can set it to play in time with the background stuff.
Yeah, mine didn't have that ability on this Kindle. I used to have some really good stuff that I could record with, and I made like the song we used, that Hidden World song and stuff. But it had a separate box outside of the computer that would be able to make the time differences. You know, it had its own computer more or less, and then fed it in. But my my current setup doesn't have that.
Bummer.
Yeah, it makes this a little bit more challenging. So, hope you all appreciate that crap. You didn't get any of it tonight. I took a nap instead.
Lazy.
Yeah. This is like a lazy show.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna see if we can get Ben Robison on next week. I'm gonna reach out to Ben tonight and see if we can get him on Hidden World next week.
Great.
Yeah, to talk more about the CERM hypothesis and his documentary that he's working on and stuff like that. Because, you know, for everybody that listened to Periscope Uncensored last Monday, you know, I was sick. I was so sick. I was there. I was on the call, but I was so sick. I had no business wearing headphones. I had a massive ear infection, and you know, and thank you again for filling in for me, and you know, you and Jax.
Glad to see you recovered.
Yeah, I did.
You got better.
Yeah, I did. I got better.
Better.
Thanks to some very, very, very stiff antibiotics and a close encounter with a mountain lion.
Stiff antibiotics.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting choice of words.
I'm still suffering the effects of those antibiotics.
Where did you have to put? How did you get those antibiotics into your system?
Orally. Oral antibiotics.
What kind of doctors you got out there in Colorado?
I've got some good doctors out here in Colorado.
Right on.
And I keep telling you, you need to come out here to Colorado, but
I'm gonna come out and get sick.
No.
Although I don't want a stiff injection of antibiotics.
I didn't say I had a stiff injection. I said I had stiff antibiotics that I took orally. So the only injections I take are for my diabetes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think we got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna edit that out. It's that stuff right there that keeps our listeners, Chris. They like the edgy, they like the dirty stuff. So
they do. I like the dirty stuff. If you like the dirty stuff, please call on in.
Yeah, that's the feedback. Like the dirty
stuff. Send us a note at CCCV books
at yahoo.com. That's our email.
At yahoo.com or where, Clarissa? At Weebly.com? You can go to our
www.cccvbooks.weebly.com is our web address. And you can also email us through the website, but it goes straight to the Yahoo email. So, just
right.
And it is not too late to order your copy of Debunking Common Paranormal Myths, Exploring Psychosomatic Pareidolia, and to have it delivered in time for Christmas. So
ding 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 ding.
Get on it, folks.
Yeah, you can. Oh, my best friend is calling. You'll love his ringtone.
Wow.
That's my bestie with
okay.
testes.
Talking about dating ourselves, right?
Yep. That's my
Yeah.
bestie with testes is calling, and I sent him to voicemail. I'll call him.
Oh, should have had him on.
I should have had him on, but we've only got a couple minutes left in the show, so I'll call him later.
Right on.
He's calling to make sure that I'm okay. We had a little bit of family drama going on last night. My son's grandmother on his dad's side was diagnosed with cancer. And the way the whole thing played out was the call came in yesterday morning, and my ex-husband just said, you know, grandma's been diagnosed with cancer, and then he took off and got on a plane and flew to Texas and left my son with no information, no answers, no nothing.
Oh, jeez.
My son is 17. He's trying really hard to be a man, and he was at his girlfriend's. He was at his girlfriend's birthday party yesterday, and he called me from the birthday party, and he says, "Mom, I need to talk," and he told me what was going on, and and I felt and still do feel really bad, for my son because, I had no information. That was the first I had heard of it. And, so I'm trying to walk him through it and say, cancer is pretty treatable, if not curable, if they caught it in time, et cetera, et cetera. And so I called my ex and left him a voicemail saying, I just heard, please give your mom my best, because his mom and I actually get along pretty good. Compared to my ex-husband's second ex-wife, I'm a walk in the park. And his mom and I get along pretty good. And I'm like, I'm sorry to hear about this, but, I would really appreciate you keeping me in the loop so I can help our son through this. And my ex I finally talked to him this afternoon. And, he told me what was going on, and, they did do surgery. They removed a lot of stuff and some lymph nodes. And they don't know if they've caught it in time.
Yeah. Lymph nodes are tough.
Yeah.
That's what got my mom.
Yeah.
She had breast cancer and it spread to her lymph nodes.
Yep. And that's what this is. And they did a lumpectomy and partial mastectomy. And they removed 2 lymph nodes, and they don't know if they caught it in time. They won't know until the 18th. So, having to help my son through this, is difficult, because the mom in me, I want to hold him in my arms and say, it's going to be okay. And I cannot do that by any stretch of the imagination. I can't do it figuratively or literally. All I can do is talk to him about it and help him be educated and informed and aware of what's going on.
That's what it's about. It's about being there as much as you can be, and he knows that. And if he can talk to you, you're doing what you're supposed to do. I mean, it really isn't much else. And I know that helpless feeling. I told you that. I think in a Facebook comment.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter breaking her arm when she was like 8 years old, and there was nothing I could do about the pain, and
Yeah. Oh, I know, it sucks.
Seeing her X-ray and like choking up, like ready to cry, like, oh my God,
Yeah, as parents,
it hurt me more than it hurt her. I swear,
Yeah.
So,
as
that's what
parents,
we do.
We don't want our children to hurt.
We love our kids, and that's instinctual, and that's how we keep our offspring on the planet and keep this merry-go-round going, right?
Yeah. And so I'm, when I talked to my ex today, he's like, well, I talked to him, and I talked to him this morning, and he didn't give me any indication, that he was worried about. And I'm like, did you think, that maybe he's trying to man up and not let you know that he's concerned or worried about this, because, you essentially, you left suddenly, and, now all of a sudden he's the man of the house, in your absence, and, he's trying to be strong for you. And he's like, well, maybe, okay, and I'm like, so just, I understand I'm your ex-wife. I get that, and technically it's none of my business, but technically it is my business because it's affecting our son. And he has 2 parents, and I'm the parent that he's going to because he's worried and concerned. And so I need to be able to help him. And, and he understood. My ex-husband understood and agreed to keep the lines of communications open a little better. But we've run out of time. So,
right on.
yep,
Well,
be sure to tune
it's
in.
that hope, fear of death, and wanting to know if there's an afterlife that keeps us looking for the afterlife, right?
That's right.
Looking for the evidence of it, which we know is there.
Yep. Yep.
It's
And
simply a hidden world.
yep, maybe we'll talk about the new theory as a result of the Hadron Collider, the CERN Hadron Collider. I read another article about that earlier this week, but we don't have time to talk about that.
I'd like to have a show on giants soon.
Ooh. We can probably do that too.
The history of giants is pretty darn interesting. I keep delving into it here and there.
Well,
yeah, we could talk on giants.
We are out of time, so be sure to tune in to Periscope Uncensored
right now.
Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern in Studio B. We're going to have Chris Balzano on the show. And anybody who has listened to me on the radio over the years knows you never know what is going to happen or what is going to fall out of our mouths when Balzano and I are on the air together. It could get heated. It could be funny. You never know. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Studio B. Also, be sure to catch Hidden World Paranormal Talk Radio next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern in Studio B. I'm willing to bet we're going to have Ben Robison as a guest. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're going to have Ben Robison as a guest next Sunday. So be sure to tune in. So for Daryl, Katie, Chris, Jax, the L&M family of hosts, and myself, have a great evening, everyone, and may all of your ghosts be friendly.
Happy hours.
Ghost friendly. Love you.